Finally. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to...
I'm offended.
I know you are, Greg. Maxwell Star's poorly done edition of Beer Analysis 101. Yes, I'm being down on myself already. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101, of course, me. And we have a great panel here with us tonight, and we're going to take a look at something from Amsterdam. So pucker up, and hopefully this will make a sucker out of all of us. This is Amsterdam Brewing's Makes You Pucker Dry Hop Sour.
Spoiler, suck.
Yeah. Moving right along, we're going to go over to who we have with us tonight, and we actually have one extra person I wasn't expecting. So that's great. First and foremost, let's go to Mr. Ashley Sexton, Sexton Brewing Co. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. And there we go. Let's do it.
Alrighty. And going over to Greg. How you doing tonight, Greg?
Doing well, and I'm looking forward to making everyone pucker.
Yeah. Would be the first time.
Or the last.
Mm. And of course, the better late than never. We got Mr. Redbeard here with us tonight, who's actually got a much shorter red beard.
Yeah, when the fuck did you trim your beard? You look weird.
Just realizing right now, we were talking about that 5 minutes ago while we are still
I was not.
You weren't listening to Carrie. That's what you were doing.
This is true. I wasn't.
He's muted too because I can't hear him.
That's the thing too. Good stuff. Yeah.
So how are you doing tonight, Gary Redbeard?
I'm all right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on. Last minute.
I don't like his new beard.
Not even last minute. Like way past the last minute.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Well, thanks for waiting. Appreciate that.
Well, there you go. Nah, if we got one more,
Would you wait for me?
Yeah, Greg. Even though we don't really want to. All right, so moving right along, let's get over to Amsterdam's history. Don't have to really get into too much detail because we've talked about Amsterdam total of 3 times on this channel. When we did Bone Shaker, when we did Tempest, and Dumble Tempest. But Amsterdam Brewing is a...
Because I'm sending you some Space Invader, Nick.
I can get that here.
Oh, well, then buy it yourself, then. We'll do it.
Yeah. Of course, you'd be fresher. Anyway, so except for that, Amsterdam traces its origins to the Amsterdam Brasserie and Brew Pub, which was opened by Roel Brouwer in September of 1986 in the Toronto Entertainment District. The brewery itself was opened in 1988, and the original pub closed in 1993. Roel Brouwer eventually sold to current owner Jeff Carefoot in 2002, and it's still effectively the same company. I think didn't they open like a new brewery on the waterfront or something? Or did that happen?
That's the brew pub is on the waterfront. That's actually where I picked up my Space Invader today. That's where their main area thing. That's their brew pub, right on Queens Quay, not Queens Quay like most people pronounce it. And then they still have their brewery on Lee Side, which nobody goes to anymore because it's in freaking warehouse district. And then they have a massive brewing facility that's not open to the public somewhere in Scarborough.
Yeah, cool. All right, so the detail, Amsterdam is very prolific. So they have a lot of other beers, which include Cruiser Pale Ale, Bone Shaker IPA, which I already mentioned, 3 Speed Lager, Downtown Brown, Tempest Imperial Stout, and of course the yearly release of the Double Tempest version, barrel-aged version, Fractal Imperial IPA, Big Wheel Amber, and a whole bunch of others. Makes You Pucker is a 4.8% ABV, 10 IBUs sour ale brewed with lime and orange zest and dry hopped with Sierra and Mosaic hops. First released as a brewery and tap only brew in May of 2019, it was released again in 2020 as a spring seasonal with much wider can distribution. In fact, I was able to get it right here in New Brunswick, so it's being shipped at least to one other province in Canada. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but we usually get like some Amsterdam releases here in New Brunswick. None of them, nothing super fancy, but we usually do get some of their stuff here. So it's kind of neat to see a fairly recent release from them here, and which is kind of what prompted this BA 101. But without further ado, let's go over to Mr. Ashley Sexton. Actually, you know what? Can I get you to read some of the comments there, considering we've got Kent and Rainey on the parade in there.
Well, you started off with waiting for someone to run out at the LCBO last minute.
Yep.
And then Craig said, don't tell him. Red beard. Oh, it is red beard.
It was actually the grocery store.
The grocery store. And it wasn't chilled, eh?
Probably doesn't matter. Mine's still warm waiting.
He's watching. He's like, yo, dogs. And I'm like,
Dog.
yo, Roy. I'm like, what you drinking? And then he said, Mast Landing Coastal IPA.
Mast Landing.
Ooh,
What the hell is that?
that sounds
Never heard of
good.
Well, I'm going to guess it's somewhere in the northeast of Ontario,
it.
United States.
Maine, probably, or Vermont, or New Hampshire. I don't know, one of them.
One of those trying to be Canadian states.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, one of the maple syrup belt states.
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, I'm going to leave it right on you because what's your history with this beer? You have any?
I've actually had this. I had it for the first time like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. Probably just when it first rolled out to the LCBO. So
Yeah.
And then much like all the Amsterdam beers that you were labeling off, I'll grab their 4-pack, like their mixed fours, like their seasonal stuff when they come out. I'll try their new stuff when it goes to the LCBO, but I'm not the biggest fan of Amsterdam, but I've pretty much had all of their core beers that have gone to the LCBO or are in those seasonal boxes and stuff. So, but I think this is the only sour I've had from them, unless they've had something else that was seasonal. I don't know.
I think they've had a few seasonals here and there, but I don't think they've had anything regularly available.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And also, their seasonals are typically only available in the brewery,
Okay.
which is odd for such a big beer beer company. But yeah, a lot of their stuff never makes it past the brewery retail store.
And that's my history.
Woof. All right, let's move over to Greg.
I have
what's your history with this beer?
zero history with this beer. Probably not a beer I'd even really want to buy if you didn't make me. And I got a big history with Amsterdam back when none of their facilities currently around existed, and they were just on the Bathurst location, which was located in an old factory, and it was pretty damn cool. And they used to do weird hippie things, like they had a movie theater night where they had a big projection on the side of the building, and all the hippies would sit on their cars and watch an old 50s movie or something. And then apparently there was I think a location even before that, and that was before my time. That was in the 80s. But lots of history with Amsterdam. I'm quite enjoying them now because, again, they're not the best brewery in the world anymore. They used to be pretty good. Now they're kind of a little bit too big. But their prices are freaking good. Like, if you go to the brewery retail store, their 24-packs are so damn cheap for what they are. So it's hard to say no in this time when we all have to hunker down and drink. So that's my history. No history. I just want to fill time.
There you go. Thanks, Greg. All right, and Mr. Redbeard, what's your history?
I had this beer, reviewed it on my channel. It was published April 22nd, and I think I've had it maybe once or twice since then. It's a dry hop sour. It's all right. I've had better, had worse.
All right. And I don't really need to go over my history because my history is nil. I bought this is the first time I saw it here in New Brunswick, so I bought a can of it and thinking we could do a BA 101, and that's exactly what we're doing. Because it'd be easy for you guys to get. So I have no history with this beer, and I just want to fill time as well. Since there's no comments, we might as well just talk amongst yourselves and say hi to all the 7 viewers we have. Let us know what it is you're drinking tonight in the chat. We do interact with our followers.
Randy, on your side, he did confirm that is a Maine brewery.
Nice.
Redbeard, how's the storm going outside? Is it shaking your bones?
Not my bones, but I can see trees coming down this evening, potentially.
Yeah. I've battened down the hatches on my balcony. We're expecting 100-kilometer-an-hour winds. It'll probably not be all that bad at all.
So I've actually been to to that same brew pub that Greg was talking about. I'll remember this. I went to a baseball game with my cousin from Edmonton, and he was in town for business, so I went with him. Him and his coworker. We went to the baseball game, and then we went to Amsterdam after. Whatever. We went to Amsterdam afterwards, and we're like, okay, they have a menu at this time, and they had like flight menus. It was weird. You couldn't build your own flight. You had to order from their menu of flights. And
That is weird.
it is really weird. And there was no flight that didn't have certain beers. So like there's duplicates of certain beers in each flight. So we're like, we just want one of everything. Like, just make it like it was like 3 guys. We're gonna get like shit faced. Like, just give us one of everything. Like, I don't want to have to order this and this and this. And the guy, like, I don't know. I think this. Well, I don't know. This is years ago. So the server came out and he had all these flights. There's like 3 of them, and it's like I was like starting to correct the beers because they were labeled in front of him with the ticket. And like, no, that's that can't be this one. It's not that one. I was like starting to rearrange everything. I'm like, they got all this all messed up. Like, so
Imperial Stout is clearly not a blonde lager.
Yeah, exactly. There was like something so off. And my cousin enjoys beer as well. He's not. I mean, like, he enjoys beer, but he enjoys whiskey more. But even he's like, oh my god, yeah, this is all over the place. What's going on? So it was an interesting night, but. It's a really nice place, and their location is fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of money behind that brewery.
A lot of money behind it.
I mean, they're basically the closest craft brewery to being a macro brewery and still being craft. So.
Yeah.
But I'll just say, following up on Ashley Sexton, if you're a restaurant or a brew pub or anything, and you do pre-made flights as opposed to letting people choose for their own beer, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you.
Well, and they're
I
not.
kind of agree. Yeah, that's really, and especially what you're saying. It's like Bose, and their fucking 4-packs. Their seasonal 4-packs they released that now they're worse now, but they've always had to have that fucking lug tread in there. Like
always.
Give me 4 different beers that I haven't had. I don't want your fucking lug tread. Like, yeah, you know.
You're mispronouncing though.
It's not a waste of time. Like, I've had this one before countless times. Give me something different. You're gonna give me a variety pack. I want to try different stuff.
Sometimes. So wasn't there one gift pack that was like 3 Lego treads and the glass? So I was like, this is the worst mix pack ever.
Well, it's kind of Amsterdam kind of goes weird with their bone shaker sometimes. You could say like their gift pack.
Yeah, bone shaker, I'd take over.
6-pack of bone shaker with like the big weird scully glass and stuff.
Yeah, so the whole point is you want the scully glass for the bone shaker. So that you're buying bone shaker. So it's like, hey, you want the bone shaker or you don't want the bone shaker. But it sucks when it's like, well, I want to get these 3 cool new beers, but I got to get a Lego tread with it, and you're charging me like $7 for that Lego tread.
Stupid Lego tread.
Now, I'll say another thing. The weirdest thing I think I've ever seen at a brew pub was Duggan's Brew Pub, which I'm not even sure if it exists anymore because they kept opening and closing and changing locations. And when my wife and I went there about 4 or 5 years ago, we wanted a flight. The waitress was like, "Oh, we only serve flights Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday."
What? Who said this?
Okay, sure.
I was like, why? I was like, why? And the waitress replied to me, because they're very hard to serve.
Where was this again? You've told the story before.
Duggan's Brew Pub on King Street. I'll check if it exists. Sorry about Arnold.
I told the store before, and I couldn't believe it then, and it's still stupid now. You know?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
I said to say that. Sorry.
Oh, we do have some comments in chat. Lee has joined us. He's like,
hey, Lee.
What is Kerry doing? Cutting his beard again.
All right.
And he's at Louis C.K. sex offender length.
Oh.
And Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, and sorry, Lee Russell from High Tide and Vibe. And so Craig from Kent Beer Reviews says he got caught in a toaster.
Okay.
That would be a very good explanation as to why there is no longer a long beard, and now it's a short beard. Burnt.
Mm-hmm. And Carrie's wondering why he came on tonight. It's nice to have you here, dude.
Thanks. Good time.
All right.
Anyway, they're selling $25 bottles of barley wine. Wonder if that's worth it.
Probably not. It's Duggan's.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get into the flavors of the beer. If you can't tell the look on my face here, let's go over to Mr. Ash. I'll get you to start off. What do you think?
It doesn't smell good. I'm not gonna lie. I know for a dry hop sour, you're expecting to get like, obviously all of the hop notes that they're going for, whatever it may be with the hop combination. But on this, I don't really get too much in the way of like whether or not it was a citrusy note or tropical note or one way or the other. This just sort of it smells like a wet blanket. It just sort of comes across a little bit minerally and a little soggy on the nose. It's just sort of, I don't know. It's a little weird. It's got a weird smell. And yeah, it's a sour. They went a little bit over the top with the sourness. The flavor notes that I'm getting are sort of reminiscent of like right after you brush your teeth and you drink any juice. Like it doesn't matter what like I'm not saying orange juice and stuff like that, but
that detergent kind of thing.
It's just that sharp, aggressive, like not nice tasting reaction that you're getting. Like it's a little bit too sour, I guess. But it's weird. It's not like a nice clean sour. Like you think about Half Hours on Earth, and their stuff is like crazy sour, and but it still comes off as a nice clean beverage. This doesn't come across like that. It sort of comes across as like a sloppily made, like forced sour. They just sort of tried to push it a little too far, I think. I mean, it's drinkable. It's 4.8. It's not foul. But I mean, really, for a sour though, there's so many more breweries that do it just so much better. I'm just not a really big fan of this. It comes across like a little gimmicky, like the title's gimmicky, the artwork's gimmicky. It's just really intended to, make you pucker. And I guess they sort of achieved that, if that was their end goal. But I don't think the beer's that solid. For style, I'll give it I'll give it like a 6. In personal preference, I don't know. I'll just give it a 6 and 6. It's like mediocre. If someone gave it to me, I'd drink it. I probably wouldn't buy it unless you asked me to do that again. I don't know. So yeah, there we go, 6 and 6.
Nice. All right, let's go over to Greg. What do you think, Greg?
What do I think? I expected to hate this beer. I mean, they're freaking advertising that it makes you pucker, and I don't like sour beers. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this. It is, well, let's see. It says lime and orange zest gives the beer tropical aroma, citrus, ripe mango, and grapefruit. I don't get any of that shit. You know what I get from this? Green apple, and lots of green apple. Maybe it's just the green container that's twisting my mind to make me think that way. But to me, it almost comes off like a cooler, like it tastes almost very chemically. But to me, I get a very strong green apple taste. And I'm not hating this, which I should hate it. Everything about me says I should hate this, but I don't. So actually, for how this is, I'm going to rate this very specifically. For a bullshit, nothing in it except sour. That's what it is. There's no fruit. There's nothing crazy in it. I am going to give this an 8 because I am rather impressed. I think some sours that are fruits or other adjuncts added to them can be actually excellent, like the Hedonism series from Rorschach Brewing, the 3 I've had, all excellent beers, all fruited to hell and all very well balanced. They balance the sour. There's nothing that balances the sour. But the sour is good. It's whatever the fake apple taste in this balances it. I don't even know if they tell you what's in it, but their ingredients list. I'm so unprofessional. I can't find.
We love you anyway, Greg.
I can't find one. My own personal preference. Would I buy this again? Probably not. It's really still not my thing. But I'm quite enjoying this, so I'm going to give it a 6.5, which in my rating scale is basically on the low end of good. Like I would enjoy this if I went to Nick's house and Nick offered me one. I'd be like, sure, Nick, I'll drink this with you, and then Nick would drink like a real good barley.
I'd be trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, you drink a good barley wine while I drank this. Have some of that, Nick. You'd be like, no.
Yeah, that beer to Zeus you're going to send me.
Hey, I'm going to send it to you. I'm just waiting for your beer to come to me, and then I'm going to recycle your box and send it back to you.
it ever gets out. I said it 2 weeks ago. It's still a DF. All right. Okay. So continue.
I'm pretty much just all I have to say is that I'm actually pleasantly surprised. A 6.5 for me on a style that I really don't like, and an 8 for me on the style because I'm actually pretty impressed. You know what? If you like sours more than me, I could see this being a real good summer crusher. Like, maybe drink a few of these by the pool.
8 for the style, and what was it for overall?
6.5 for me.
6.5. All right, and all right. Let's see what's Redbeard think.
I remember not overly enjoying this when I reviewed it. I found it to really not be very sour at all. I was like all pissed off that the name makes you pucker. Didn't make me pucker at all. For some reason, this can, I'm not sure if the date is different or something like that, more fresh or had more time to mellow it. The flavors come together or something. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. It's actually not even that cold. I threw it in the freezer when I got back from the grocery store for like 10 minutes maybe, and it's barely chilled, and I'm thoroughly, it's nice. It's quite tasty. Style-wise, just nice dry hop lager. I'll kind of go along with Greg, give it an 8, and my personal enjoyment, I'm going to go 7.5. It's good. Drink number last one. Let's do it.
Chug, 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 chug.
Does it make you pucker?
It's really like but it's really kind of hits in the back of the cheeks kind of thing really nicely. That lemony kind of shit going on.
Yeah, I feel it in my butt too.
You poo out of your mouth is what you're saying right now? What?
All right, so that should be an indication of what I'm about to say about this thing. I'm going to echo something. I think what Ash was saying about the aroma. It smells kind of funky. The smell of it kind of reminds me of like spruce gum a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a dry hop sour. The dry hoppedness is supposed to. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. It's fine.
No, I with what you're saying, I agree. But I find that sour beers, it's always going to have that kind of funky sour smell. I got a bit of the other aromas with it, but they rarely take over unless like it's a super, super heavily fruited sour or something, I find. But sorry, Nick, go ahead, buddy.
I was actually expecting Ashley to talk over me, and then you talked over me.
Well, Ashley was talking about sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, all right, so it's light. There's a bit of soda water quality to it. I guess in some circles that's refreshing. It's pithy, but it's very rindy. The lime and orange zest are dominant in this thing, I find. They used a lot of it, and it shows a lot of zest in this thing. It's tart, sour on the tongue and the back of the palate with a hint of lingering resin, but it's also got a very strong lingering lime peel note. It's okay. It's not most bitter sour I've had, but I mean it's something I probably would not want to buy again. It's a bit too sour for me. I'm not super crazy about sours, but I've had really good sours, and I've had sours that I really just it's too sour for me to really enjoy. I mean, there was one that I had from Double Trouble that I think Carrie might remember when I was over at his place, and that thing was just like way too much. I think he drank the rest of mine. Anyway, so I just find it
sucker punch.
It's just, yeah, I think it was the sucker punch.
That's a nice one. That's a really sour.
You like more intense sours than I do. I just find that this one's gotten to the point where it's not enjoyable. It doesn't really have much body or flavor to it. Back up the sour, and it just tastes like straight up lime peel. And like what Ashley was saying, it tastes like brushing your teeth, but without the mint. It's got that kind of detergent sour where it just makes you gag in the back of your throat, like it was like you just brushed your teeth half an hour ago and you're drinking orange juice.
Wow.
Stomach.
That's how you really feel about this beer, Nick. My God. No. Jesus Christ.
I rarely ever shit on a beer, and I'm still not shitting on it so hard that I'm going to fail it. I think for the style, I'm going to give it 6.5, and overall enjoyment 5.5. That's probably one of the lowest scores I've given outside of a macro lager.
Oh,
this is not going to be an overly high average.
Nope. I would rather not drink this again, but it's not terrible.
If you want to send us free merchandise, please message us.
Yeah, but somebody send us to Amsterdam. I mean, they can take some notes. A little lower on the orange peel, a little bit, maybe more some malt tobacco.
Or maybe we'll watch our, what was it, Double Tempest, Bone Shaker. I think we gave all those pretty good ratings. So.
Oh, yeah. Like Double Tempest and the Bone Shaker are pretty highly scored.
What does everybody have as far as dates on their can? I'm pretty sure I'm seeing C would be March 24th of this year.
I'm assuming that.
Mine says C2420.
That's the same as mine.
I have DO820. So
okay, so all three of us seem to have the same. Ashley seems to have one that's 1 month fresher somehow. That's funny.
E2420.
You know what? March, April, May, June, going on like that 3.5 months. I'd say that the flavor
there was a way
has held up quite nicely. I'll give it that for sure.
There's like one letter where they don't use it or something, wasn't it, for the date? Otherwise, it's pretty spot on.
They don't use I.
Yeah, I use I. Probably because it looks like a 1.
Makes sense.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to do the math on scores. You guys talk so much yourselves.
I'll go to the comments. So we left off at Lee cutting his beard again. Looks like Louis C.K., sex offender.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks for repeating that one again. Do the best.
Sorry. And Lee made the suggestion. Maybe it was his better half that made the suggestion. And Redbeard agreed. It's a very good guess, but she would have never made him. He's his own man, and he can make his own decisions.
You know,
and then he made some remarks about reciprocal to shaving beard.
I think that's a cunnilingus related comment.
Day work just fine. Afternoon delight, baby skyrockets in flight. That was from Redbeard to Lee. I don't know. Lee says, I will be slightly late to the after chat. Gonna eat a fucking pizza. To which I inquired, what's the pizza fucking? And then I answered my own question with your face.
I thought the better question would be, why would you eat a pizza that was meant to be used for fucking?
Right?
Exactly. Weird.
You know, Lee just fucking rolling that pizza up and sticking it in a pineapple.
It must be covered in pepperoni.
And then Lee, of course, confirmed what I had suggested was that it was fucking face. More specifically, his mouth.
Yeah, you open it up, and if you go in and out, it's fucking you fuck your face.
There you go.
Fuck your face.
Got some fuck your face happening.
He says, damn right.
Yep, damn right.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got. I'm sorry. What?
Nice.
Copyright strike.
That actually makes you smile.
That's funny.
Great. I like that. That's great.
I usually go for like press photos or something of the beer from like the brewery if I find it on a Google image search, and then that was like one of the first pictures. I'm like, all right, I'm using that when he's on the panel.
Works. little beard comparison if you look past the words.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can sort of see the beard right here. I wonder if I can I zoom in even more.
Oh god.
There we go.
It's right there.
And if you look really closely, in between the K and the C, you can see the bird nest. It's right in there. There's like 2 little chicks going, "Mama,
Mama.
Sorry.
Oh god.
I painted a shed for my neighbor the other day, and I actually avoided a bird nest that was built with eggs in it up at the top.
Well, that was very nice of you.
I thought so.
Very humanitarian of you. Yes. This is where we're going. This is where we're going.
Nice.
Anyway. Yeah, there's really not much to say, I think.
Other than Lee says, I'm not going to be lectured by an asshole with half a beard talking about red. I guess I technically have half a beard.
This is way less than half of what it was before.
And Nick has half a beard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like half of this.
Like, he's
being a hypocrite because he's listened to us before.
Ashley and I basically still have full beards.
And then Greg has like half conscience.
I got like a little bit of a shadow, and that's about it.
I got your joke, Ashley. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, but
Greg hasn't shaved his entire body lately because of the sex club's closed.
Your length falls flat to your
Yeah,
face.
I'll shave my body. I want Agnes to have a nice little baby to make love to.
God, it's easier to clean off. It's like Tupperware.
That is 100% true. You do not want to get semen at a test area. It's difficult.
Oh, gross. Especially when it's hers. Ooh.
Nick, we're
Okay.
I'm not applying the Agnes's chest hair. That was a joke.
Oh, I think
Randoms at the sex club. Anyway, we got 2 more viewers after that comment. Anyway, we're waiting for the magic question to come in at the end of the chat. So if anybody wants to ask, go right ahead.
What's that group here, Nick? Oh, I don't count.
You don't count.
Yeah. Not like was it last week where it was like one of the first 5 seconds into the fucking thing was already asked?
What was that?
What's next beer?
What's next week's beer? I heard it. Checking something. I just heard a computer.
What beer we have next week, guys? What beer? What beer is happening next week?
Thank you.
Who is it?
Okay, Rennie and Parade, NWB, next week's beer. What is it?
All right. So next week's beer is going to be nothing exciting, I guess, but we're going to do Tuborg. Because resistance is futile.
It's deluxe beer. Yay.
Yay,
Yeah,
Tuborg
deluxe.
Gold.
Gold,
We can
man.
give ourselves a gold star next week.
I went to an LCBO in the middle of COVID for that, so that is an exciting beer because it is a beer I risk my life for.
I'm almost certain that
Sure.
that is on the shelf at the same grocery store. I just
It's on the
so-
shelf everywhere.
Should have picked one up.
Well,
Shut
you know,
up.
that's-
Everywhere.
Oh,
Well, you
shit.
gotta- gotta get
chances
the
are
groceries
pretty good.
anyway.
I'll be grabbing more beer between now and next Wednesday.
It's almost like you have a drinking problem.
Well, I'm not going to end it for Nick, but I have
Not
to
so
go
much
to
a
the
problem as an enjoyment of it.
All right. Yeah, I think we're going to take this thing offline anyway. We're going to come back on in a bit, and I think I'm going to just do the after chat on StreamYard because I don't know if we've got too many people coming on today. And I don't feel like fucking around with Microsoft Edge and the streaming shit
Nick
tonight. So,
can't handle it.
oh, shut up, Redbeard.
Can't handle the
Handle
meat.
the truth. Have a good night. We'll come back on in a bit. Cheers.
Bye.